think for all of us, when we get an opportunity to honor someone from our community who has truly dedicated their life to public service, particularly law enforcement service over a 40-year career for our former Sheriff Michael LaPaglia, on many days, I'm sure, putting his life on the line to keep all of us safe. So one of the things that for me is the greatest privilege, one of the greatest privileges of getting to serve as county executive is the chance to come out and honor those who I look up to and see as role models. And I know in talking to many here, you all feel the same way about the former sheriff. So I'm introducing the Shandaken supervisor, Rob Stanley. Thanks for joining us, and I'll hand it to you.
Again, Pat, can't say it enough. What a beautiful day we have, and I really think Mike is shining down on us for this day. When I was called by the family to ask about a bridge dedication, we looked at a couple of bridges, and this is a bridge that will be enjoyed by families for years to come. As you can see, we have tubers that are just getting out of the stream down below. When we approached here, there were a couple of fishermen. I really am honored to be here today and to honor somebody that did commit their life to public service, be it with the Sheriff's Office, Police Department, Fire Department, EMS. They contribute their lives for little more than a pat on the back. And this is a nice way for us to remember Mike LaPaglia and the service he gave this community. And thank you for giving us the honor to honor him today.
Our county legislator here, Kathy Nolan, so it's my privilege to introduce her and ask her to say a few words as well.
And it's a particular delight because the family of Mike LaPaglia, especially his two nieces here, Barbara Ula and Tina Albright, have told me so much about Michael LaPaglia's love for this area. And he would bring the entire family up from New York to the Catskills on weekends for years on end to enjoy these lands, fishing and watching the birds and the wild animals. This was a hallmark of his, and it's part of what made me feel so good about bringing forward a resolution to honor him. Not just his public service, but his connection to this area and his dedication to bringing people here so that they could enjoy it. That Ulster County voted unanimously to support the resolution that came to us from Shandaken, a unanimous resolution to dedicate this bridge here in Phoenicia as the Michael LaPaglia Bridge.
I didn't know Mike well, but I'm sure he would really be particularly honored by the presence of his brothers and sisters from the law enforcement community, where he spent, as you heard, the vast majority of his professional life. So, thank you all for being here. And I'd like to invite our current sheriff, Juan Figueroa, up to say a few words on behalf of that community in honoring Mike.
Thanks to the family of Sheriff LaPaglia, and I also want to thank Barbara Brown for helping me put a few notes together. She's been with the Sheriff's Office for many, many years, over 3 decades. Mike LaPaglia began his law enforcement career in 1954 with NYPD, retiring at the rank of detective before moving to Ulster County on a full-time basis, where he served 3 terms as sheriff and fully retiring in 1998. He was an author, a dedicated law enforcement officer at all levels, highly respected amongst his peers, and a man completely devoted to his family, especially his well-known and very much loved mother, Grandma Josie, as she was affectionately called by everyone. As Sheriff of Ulster County, he brought vision and change. Under his command, he fostered strong interagency working relationships. He updated and redesigned the vehicles and uniforms of the Ulster County Sheriff's Office, and for the first time in history, the agency began referring itself as an office and not a department. He also was the first to have this office as an accredited agency through the New York State Department of Criminal Justice Services. A rigorous process, which I can assure you continues today. And this was all attained by his hard work and dedication to our county and the people of the office, the men and women of the office. To be part of this wonderful dedication and this wonderful day May Sheriff Michael LaPaglia's legacy live on, so I thank him and his family. I also want to bring up the longest-serving sheriff in the history of Ulster County, and our previous sheriff, Sheriff Paul Van Barkum. Let me say a few words. Sheriff.
I'd like to thank the family for inviting me. I also like to thank our current sheriff. Just to say a couple, he was right. And then there's times that I would call him, and he was always a wealth of knowledge. He was always willing to help me. But back in the day, when I was just a uniformed sergeant, we had our ups and downs. He's a pretty strict disciplinarian, and I learned that the hard way. But in the long run, it made my career that much better. I learned from Sheriff LaPaglia really how to not toe the line, but do the right thing for the right reason, and also how to work things around, especially as becoming sheriff and trying to work with politics. Mike LaPaglia was, aggressive when it came to politics. It was going to be his way or no way, and he always found out a way to do that. And I respect him for that, and he always tried to get me to be in sort of that way. And sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. The times that I didn't, I probably wish I should have. Mike LaPaglia served his country. Mike LaPaglia served the city of New York. Mike LaPaglia served the town of Shandaken. Mike LaPaglia served the county of Ulster. If there's anybody in the 42 and a half years that I put into the county that deserves to have a remembrance of him, it's Sheriff Michael LaPaglia. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you.
Sheriff LaPaglia, is to just take a second, either now or on your way heading home, and think about, what can I do tomorrow and the next day to try to be of service to someone else. I think from someone who dedicated their career to public service, that's something that I imagine Mike would really be honored by if we each take a moment to think about that and reflect on that. And I know many of you here today already are doing that on a daily basis, either officially or unofficially. But we're ready.